Yeah, I got what, Sarah said, but are you, what were you saying would be the entry and exits?
I don't think we really did, because I think this is you're talking about the parking?
No, no.
You're talking about the inside of the restaurant.
Designate one entrance and one exit, rather than permitting both entry and exit on both
That was
Carroll
for
and.
cars, that was cars.
Oh.
If you wanna clarify that, if the language is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you say in the parking lot.
This is for the parking lot.
This is for the parking lot, because we were just sitting there watching, and it was pretty chaotic in that parking lot, so, so that's the parking lot. I understand your point about the inside, which is also a.
Oh, I didn't know it was a parking lot.
Yeah, that's
I
the
thought it
parking
was
lot.
the store.
No, but if you
All
have a
right.
question on the inside.
No, I just wanted to, I crossed that out because I thought you meant the interior, but I'd like to leave that. But I did want to add, as a bullet point on the further resolve, is the intrinsic customer path to service in the interior. It should be, it shouldn't be that they have to have a greeter at the door and explain how to go, that's all. And that when they walk in, they'll know intrinsically, or just, by sight, that they should know how to get there. You did explain also, I did want to say that outside seating limited to 14 seats, and handicap seating is not additional, it's instead of. So if you have 2 people that are in wheelchairs, then that would still be 14, 2 seats ought to come out, so it's 14 total. And I would reduce the interior capacity to 35. That's just mine. Because I don't know how you would, she did explain the 5, which I understand why they said 45, but he said 49. And I just think it's gonna be a bunched in there. Not that it'll be filled to capacity every day. I mean, maybe, hopefully, but I'm saying, I understand that. But I think it should be reduced. And that's up for discussion.
Are the commissioners and have any other questions or comments about that?
I'm on the design review committee team, and I visited the location. I think they did, the second time they came around, they did a wonderful job. And my question is actually in reference to Judy's amendment. If we agree with everything Judy said, except for the amount of the seats, can we pass that, or it has to be the whole, we agree with everything? How do we do this? The amendment.
No, we make the amendments. And
So for amendments?
we add the amendments to this amendment, to this resolution.
Okay.
We add her amendments to this resolution.
But if we don't agree with every single bullet of her amendment?
So, we vote separately.
Okay.
We can vote separately.
So what is it that you disagree?
Is the 35 the seating? Because I was physically there and I counted and I felt, I believe that the round table should be out. But again, just tonight, I counted the seats. And I think that 40 for me is the number I'm comfortable with, and you're comfortable with 35.
So we can say 35 to 40?
Yes, I'm
Let them do
fine with that.
Okay.
Well, I'm not fine with that.
Right,
So,
I know Tanya has another opinion also.
You know, I think that a lot of the things that we're talking about whether or not how many seats, really comes down to the code. And the code should drive this. And the code, it isn't for us to decide how many seats just based on how we feel about it, because there is discrete guidance in the code about what the distances are that are allowed between seats and tables. And that's what the code is for. And so I don't think that we as a commission should supplant the code. What I do think is that what he has proposed and brought to us does not show how that site can handle 50 seats. So my proposal is that if we wanted to, we could say we would like Starbucks to come back and show us a plan that actually accommodates 50 seats. And in that respect, they could come back and eliminate one of the doors, because that's code compliant. And then they would have a little bit more maneuverability to accommodate what you're asking for, which is that sight line directly to the counter, and have a little bit more room for seating. And to just arbitrarily take it down to 35, just because
Oh, I-
this, to take it.
No, I'm not arbitrary. No, I did talk to
Let me-
someone on
let
the
me-
design
let
review
me
committee,
finish,
and
please.
so
Let me finish,
my
please.
input
Let
was
me
not.
finish, please.
my-
Let me
One
finish,
piece of-
please.
one people-
Because
one
I was
person at a
talking,
time. Please,
excuse
one-
me.
But
Let
my
me finish.
input is not
Let me
arbitrary.
One
finish,
person at a
please.
time.
One
My
person
input
at,
is not arbitrary.
one person at a time, and I respectfully listened to everything that you said
Okay.
without comment, and
I'll
I
repeat it
expect
when you
this,
finish.
and I expect the same from you.
I'll
Thank you.
repeat it when you finish.
Okay, are you quite done?
Not yet,
Being rude?
but go ahead.
Please, one person at a time.
Thank you.
I haven't begun.
Okay, I'm the last word, one person at a time.
So, if you are not if you're not using a basis in fact and reason which the code provides, then indeed, you're not coming to this with a basis for an informed opinion. So, the
Oh,
point
I-
is,
oh.
the point is that we should not be supplanting the code. So I think that it's, in everybody's best interest to make sure that this place has the ability to bring another proposal to the table that provides them the opportunity to show us how 50 seats may work.
Yeah, normally I would agree
So-
with you, but, in trying to reason and negotiate and compromise, I think, there shouldn't be one voice overall. And I did speak with more than one person on the committee. But I did read the resolution before I stated my opinion. And
Yes.
so, it wasn't an arbitrary uninformed, unless you disagree with everyone on your committee. That this
Well,
is
Well, it may be
a part
informed, it
of.
may be informed and non-arbitrary, but is it legal in terms of the
Well,
code?
again, all of this is recommendations,
Yeah,
and it's recommendations with great weight. And it, based on it, I didn't know if 50 was available to them or not. And that was my question. And the feedback I got was they really wanted less. But she explained how she got to 45, which was my concern, and I understood that. And so, again, there are varying opinions on the design review committee, not just one. And so I do take into consideration what it is that I do say to the developer, because I don't wanna be unfair, but we do want to make sure that the drawings and, your desire to make money are well, established in our, resolution. I hope that's clear, but I'll repeat it if I need to.
hold on. Yeah.
I just wanted to say what Tanya said about, it's about the code. If the code says 50, and we as commissioners, the code can say 50, and I think we're judging a little quality of life. And even though the code says 50, you go into a restaurant, and like the gentleman that was there that said, I don't want more seats in here. I believe that we are looking at the area, and it's not just about the code, it's also, is the quality of life, because the developer will try to put as many seats as he possibly can to
Untrue.
make, not true?
Untrue.
Okay, that's what I think in reference to make money. So if the code says 50 seats, I would think that they would try to, but I know where you're going with the untrue part, that they're gonna try to make what works. And I felt like as a commissioner, I look and see what's the quality of life, where are people gonna sit? And I wasn't gonna bring this up, but I'm actually the one that said remove that circular table, because I felt, it should be removed, and that's a quality of life. That has nothing to do with, the code saying 50.
And so, another thing that I brought up to design review is that a lot of the times these floor plans that you see are very fluid. So these are not necessarily the finished plans. And so they will go back and they will refine until they get something that actually works. And this plan, to me, has a flaw, and that flaw is that table that's right there. But they will probably go back and redesign in order to make something that actually works, in order for them to get that right balance between the amount of space and the flow of the traffic actually to the counter and from the counter. So what we're seeing from them is not necessarily a finished product. And one of the things that we could do as the commission is to ask them to say, okay, show us a plan that really works at 50 or 45, but not to just say, all right, this plan doesn't work, so we should just remove the seats. And I think that that actually is being not only unfair to them, but doesn't do us the right service, because we don't get the right product from them that, and allow them to design the capacity that they have to make it really great.
Well, I think that's your opinion, but I do believe,
I think
I just
So,
wanna make this
I-
last point, that, the zoning commission has sent back, if we are inadequate in our recommendations, they have asked us to come back and review it. These are recommendations to them, we do have great weight, but if you have challenges, or if you go down there and stand your ground and make your case, they may rule in your favor. But this is the recommendation from the community members that I've talked to.
So what